eroded a hole in one of the bottom passages in the bottom of the canyon to this place. I mean, calcite, sorry. Layering this limestone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. See the difference. And right here, there's a seashell right there. And there's another fossil of a seashell up here. And if y'all have phones or flashlights on those phones, no problem, doesn't have to drop them down in any holes. You are welcome to use them.
Whoa. That is steep.
Yeah, there's a lot of steep stairs throughout here.
Oh, wow. All right.
There's a better example of a joint. That big crack across the ceiling.
Yeah.
If you take a picture of it at the right angle, it actually looks like a face right here.
This is cool. Oh. I feel like I'm in Indiana Jones or something. That is really cool. So, whoop. Wow.
All these giant rocks would have came from upper levels. That would have made a floor up there.
Jesus. That's crazy.
Water left, so left for no buoyant support to that rock anymore. And so the rock just fell.
Whoa. Okay. Oh. Wow. It's pretty high.
So that 55-foot rappel I was telling you about, right over there,
Oh, so I, oh.
that little hole, you'd rappel down that, and there's a little ladder over there that you'd come back up. That right-hand passage would have brought us out right up there. And when they came to this point of the cave, they were using those headlamps, maybe 4 feet, maybe 6 feet. And so this looked like nothing. It was just empty pit. And so they named it the Devil's Pit because they tried several times to get to the bottom, and they could never reach the bottom. I don't think they were using long enough rope. Oh yeah. Yeah, they were having a lot of trouble with that. But a lot of the water that was coming through here with that sulfuric acid, it eroded all the soft rock away and just left the hard rock behind. So most of the rock they were dealing with was solid rock.
Gotcha.
All this rock that's left is pretty much stable.
Wow.
For so long that it's made almost like fin-like formations.
Wow, that's
water.
cool.
Yeah.
Sediment. So it's sediment, basically.
Yeah, it pretty much. It's from as the water flows down through those actually have like little veins and stuff throughout them, and the water will actually flow through those and come to the ends of them and drop off of them.
Nice.
And so when the water right through here is that room that those guys would have came through.
So they took that right-hand passage.
Oh, sir, we
toward-
can't touch the side of the cave.
They took that right-hand.
What they would do is they would have 2 ropes connected to their sides, and they would have clips on the end of those ropes, and they would clip onto that rope, and they would shimmy down that rope. When the breakdown happened, when all the water left, which is why all this rock is here, all that rock is piled up, this hole over here got clogged with an airlock, and it stayed like that for a couple million years, and actually allowed for this side of the cave to keep its own climate and stay growing and moist. This hole, the wall is decayed away, I guess, eroded away. All of the soft rock was eroded out of there, and so all that's left is hard rock. And so when they were putting dynamite in here to detonate this, or trying to detonate this wall, the explosions were just leaving all of these holes and not blowing any of the rock apart. And so they actually had to manually pick through this wall with
Another scary looking hole.
This side of the cave, it was the only way through. They had to actually dig it out by hand to get through this little crawl space. This is actually a tour that you can sign up for. It's a 40-foot belly crawl. Yeah. It's called the adventure crawl. You can kind of see they got a little arrow up there to point the way back. Yeah.
There's like a lot of side holes here.
Yeah, this because of the sulfuric acid water sitting down here for so long, not having anywhere to go, it started eroding different ways off like path. So it's very maze-like in here. Drops down and goes that way, and actually opens up to 3 different wet and growing.
Oh wow!
Right here, you'll see.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Glistening right there.
Nice.
And please be careful coming through here also. The path will be a lot more slick through these next parts of the cave.
Oh wow.
And so the ones that you see that are hanging from the ceilings, those are stalactites. The ones that are growing from the floors are stalagmites. And when they grow together like this one over here, they create columns. And so a good way to remember them, stalactites hold on tight to the ceiling. Stalagmites might reach the ceiling one day.
Any idea how old these are?
Most of the ones, like the ones that are grown together, are anywhere from, let's see, it took about 8 million years for this cave system to create. How long it takes, but these right here are known as cave drapery.
What the heck is that? It looks like bacon.
Those are pretty much more active versions of what you've seen earlier in the cave.
Wow.
That thing that kind of looked like an alien head or a hand coming down.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what they were, except for those were a lot more dried out. You couldn't really see them as well. These, you can see the sediment layers in them a little better. They kind of look like bacon, yeah.
It does.
It's bacon.
Alright, we'll continue through here. These next 2 rooms, I'll encourage you to look up. They're called the chandelier rooms. It's really not as hot as it was earlier.
Yeah. So if you guys are exposed to higher CO2s, don't you guys take something? Because since you guys are constantly...
It never really gets high enough to be
dangerous.
down here.
Okay.
Nobody's down here. I mean, I yawn a lot throughout the day because of it. That's your yawning is pretty much your brain telling you.
Oh.
I think this is pretty much as tight as you'll have to deal with today.
Wow.
Watch your shoulder coming through here.
Watch your head too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then up here it slants down and gets slick, so be careful. Use your handrail.
Okay. Handrail. Handrail. Wow. Whoa. Wow. Wow.
You got these cauliflower formations that are going along the walls.
Wow.
You got the stalactites up there.
Yeah, right there.
You got these are called coral formations. These are from where the water from up here is falling and splashing out. So it scatters the calcite everywhere and allows them to just kind of deposit in weird explosive formations. You got these guys up here. These are known as helictites. They grow outward from the wall, upward, backwards, all kinds of different ways. What are those? These are called helictites. Helictites. It's going to go straight out until eventually that hole clogs up. And if it opens up a hole on the side, then it'll grow out that way. And, you know, They just do all kinds of different things. There's ones in the back that actually do full circles. They come out of the wall, do complete 180s, and formations that you see in here are all made out of calcium. And it's the water pretty much dragging it through the stone, and as the water falls through here, it deposits its CO2 into the atmosphere, and the mineral calcite can't live in water without the CO2 degasses into the atmosphere. The calcite's left to deposit. And so all these are made out of calcium carbonate, which is the...
Man, those things are scary if those things drop.
Oh yeah.
Those sharp things.
Yeah.
But never happens, right?
They're actually pretty sturdy.
Sturdy?
Inside
Okay.
of them are like pretty much solid crystal.
Gotcha.
So I mean they're pretty sturdy.